What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Something to Say podcast. It's your boy Jeffrey with my boy
Ed.
and we back at you. Have to do a little shout out to Rudy. He was unable to make it again this week to join us for the podcast. He had some plans, but he will be back next week to join us for our fifth episode, which is going by pretty quick already. Ed,
Yeah, it's been a quick journey. I can't believe we got so many episodes out so far, but I'm loving the progress that we're making. So hey, y'all just keep staying tuned and rock with us.
hell yeah, couldn't have said it better. And I've really enjoyed myself so far, and I can't wait to just keep going. I can't wait to talk about what we got on the docket today. First and foremost, Lakers Nuggets game one last night. If you didn't watch, you missed out big time
Definitely.
because wow, that was a good game. A lot of people could be saying like, "Oh, I watched in the beginning, it was a blowout." Well, if you didn't stay till the end, it was a 3-point game in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter between the Nuggets and the Lakers. And Ed and I were just fact checking the stats from last night, and boy, was that one of the most efficient playoff games
That,
of possibly the whole first three rounds so far.
yeah, I want. We gonna come back next time with the facts on this, but I wonder like what does that rank as in like most efficient games
Oh,
overall?
oh,
Cause that's Jeff looked up the stats and it's like, bro, above 40% and above 50% from both teams as a whole is nuts.
nuts, dude. And we're talking 40% for both teams from three and above 50% from the field for both teams. Like honestly, like could be one of the most efficient games like in
Yeah.
NBA history possibly. Like from both teams. Like I don't remember the last time that I saw both teams, whether it was playoffs or regular season, both shoot over 50% from the field. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that can't be common. Like
I
you
know.
know, like
Definitely not.
and I apologize to all the statisticians out there who are keeping track of these games, but I sure am not. And last night was insanely efficient from both offenses. Can't say much about either defense, to be quite honest with
Yeah,
you.
true. The defense was not present today. It was like almost an all-star game. Like that was
It
crazy.
really was. Like first thing Ed said, like when we were talking about this game, was that's all. When I told him the score, it was those are all star numbers, and they were like it was 132 to 126 was the final score. Like that's a lot of points being scored,
Yeah.
like a lot. And the Jokic though had undoubtedly the most efficient first half of maybe any game ever. Like
It
honestly,
might be in history. Cause what did you say? Second quarter?
second quarter with 6 minutes left, this man had a triple double. With
Nuts.
6 minutes left in the second quarter, like that's video game numbers right
Yeah,
there.
for real.
Like,
On rookie.
yeah, on rookie. That's a good point. Like, dude, he had 20 something. I apologize for not having his specific points scored, but he had 16 rebounds at the end of the first quarter. 16 rebounds, dude.
That's crazy.
Like he
He's
was
a monster.
eating the glass, like eating the glass in the first quarter, like. And honestly, between him and Jamal Murray, like the Nuggets were almost unstoppable because we went back and looked at the starting five for the Nuggets plus Bruce Brown, my boy from last episode. If you all been listening,
Chef boy.
um, they all scored in double digits. Every single one of the starting five, and Bruce Brown scored in double digits for the Nuggets. All of them.
And then when your team is performing like that, it's like you can't ask for nothing better. Like all five starting five double digits, and your six man's coming in putting in work. Like that's
Like,
just
what more could you ask for? Like, Mike
that's
Malone
a
has to
great
be
game.
happy.
Yeah.
Like, he has to be really happy after game one. Although they really came close to blowing that at the end. Like,
Hey, the Lakers, they clawed their way back because at first it was looking ugly. I turned up the game kind of late, like third quarter, and it was like down like 20, and I'm like, yo, I'm like, this is not looking too good. So like, as I was like editing our videos and stuff, I happened to look up, and it's like, oh, they down 10, and it's like, oh, they down 6. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh snap,
yeah,
like,
dude.
I'm like, they might steal one.
Like this series is going to. I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna call 7 games in this
Yeah,
series.
7 game,
Like
especially just due to them that first game being so efficient from both sides. It's like they both like can't really guard each other. It's
yes,
kind of crazy. Like so, yeah, yeah.
yes,
I'm agreeing with you. 7 games for sure.
yeah. Yeah, spot on. Because with what you're saying about they can't guard each other. Like the Lakers had no answer for Jokic, but the Nuggets had no answer for AD. And I don't see where they're gonna find. But honestly, like in the Lakers' favor, it's it's looking they found something in the fourth quarter. They
Yeah.
absolutely found something. What they were doing was they were sending help on Jokic, and they were um, they were closing out on the shooters a lot better when it comes to Michael Porter and Bruce Brown and Jamal. And honestly, like that's when they started to claw their way back, is
Mm-hmm.
because when they were doubling Jokic down low, even though he was making the right play on the outside from the inside, it was still clamping them down a little bit because if you leave Jokic one on one with anybody, he's gonna get his. Like
That's a
that's just
field day
facts.
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like as good as AD was playing last night, Mark Jackson said it perfectly during the broadcast as he was saying that AD was playing his like he couldn't have given anymore, and he really was like playing hard on the defensive end,
Yeah.
and it didn't matter. It did not matter at all. Like Jokic was still dominating the game, and they're gonna have to hope that he misses shots. Like that's just what it is. Like
You have to, because I mean he's has such a skill set, like, and he's so efficient. So it's kind of like you saw AD play his heart out, but
yeah,
wasn't enough.
it wasn't enough. It wasn't nearly enough. Like they really gotta they gotta tap into what they were doing at the end of the game. And even Darvin Hammond is. I made sure to watch the press conference at the end because I wanted to hear what the coaches had to say about the game. And Darvin Ham was saying we did find something that we're gonna kind of come back to in the next games, and that's why I definitely think it's gonna be a 7 game series as well because
Yeah.
they found something. They're gonna come back to it, and I think the Lakers are not in a bad spot at all. I mean, with how efficient the Nuggets were, to only lose that game by less than 6 points, like that's a win, kind of. Like that's a.
Yeah.
I know there's no moral victories, but that's a moral victory if there ever was one. Like
Definitely.
because that game could have easily been a 20-25 point blowout by the end of it. Like it could have been all the bench players for the Nuggets being out there very early, and for the Lakers.
Facts.
Like, and so we were looking down the stat line. D'Lo didn't have the best game. He only had
Yeah.
8 points. They didn't get a lot out of Schroeder. The Lakers really could have had a lot more going from their role players as well because AD had 40, LeBron had his efficient game where I think he had just under 30. I think he had like 26, 28 points,
Yeah,
and then
he was balling.
Austin Reeves dropped a 20 burger. He was hitting threes big
And
time
every
in the
time I looked up, he was hitting some,
yeah
especially in the second half.
yeah
He was a strong part of that comeback
he
because
was
they had dished it out. I don't know why, but he was like open and it was just knocked down.
yeah
And
dude.
I was like, dang.
He hit 3 in a row from the same spot, and
Yeah.
honestly, they put him right in the same spot again for a fourth one, and he didn't make it. But I was sitting there, my heart was pounding because you all are gonna get used to it. I hate him. I hate the Lakers, Rudy. You ain't here. I'm gonna talk even more ish. Like we big Nuggets like I ain't a Nuggets fan, but I'm rooting hard for the Nuggets over here on this side. So I really wanted the Nuggets to win last night, and the Lakers were making it scary, no doubt about it,
Yeah.
like big time. And so, that series is going to be dynamite. From doesn't matter what court they're on, whether they're in LA or they're in Denver. It's going to be close games. It's going to be fireworks. You just got names all over the court too. You got Murray, you got Jokic, you got AD, you got LeBron, and then you've got all these other role players. Bruce Brown, the others once again for the Nuggets. Ed, I told him last week.
Wait,
I
'cause
told y'all.
you said Contavious, right?
Oh yeah, Contavious had 22.
Contavious Caldwell Pope. How many of y'all knew he was still in the league? Because I didn't. But hey, shout out to him. He had 22. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah. And
That's
he was
wild.
hitting too. He was hitting threes wide. Like honestly, then I can't stress it enough. I was telling my fiance while we were watching the game. I was saying the Nuggets are only up by this much because of how efficient. Like for a while, no one could miss. Like no one. It was Michael Porter was hitting shots. Catavius was hitting shots. Jamal was hitting shots. Jokic is always going to hit shots.
Always.
Like, the Lakers can only just kind of shrug their shoulders, just like when that 40-footer that Jokic hit in AD's face.
And that was great defense too.
Yeah, amazing.
That's the crazy part.
Amazing defense.
Yeah.
And even right before we came on for this episode, I was watching a video on Instagram of AD talking about like, there's nothing more I could have done. I just smiled at him and said to myself, like, I mean, I couldn't have done anything else. Like, he just made the shot. Like, and at that point, that's all you can do. Like,
yeah.
And Murray did the same thing, dude. Did you see Murray do it too?
Yeah.
Like late in the shot clock when he kind of just threw one up.
Murray, he's a tough shot maker, man.
Oh yeah. And LeBron even gave him a thumbs up afterward. Like, hey, like there was great defense that LeBron played on Murray on that one as well. Like, so, if the Nuggets continue on this pace, I don't think they're beatable. Like, I don't think the Lakers as a whole can keep up with them. But if the Lakers can find a way to get stops, they're gonna be just fine. Unfortunately,
yeah. They're gonna have to make everybody else beat them besides Jokic.
Yes,
because I think that was working for sure. So Michael Porter, you're gonna have to get 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're gonna have to get 30. Jamal, you're gonna have to get 50, which I know he can do.
Yes.
So it's just like, yeah, everybody else gonna have to be Contavious. You're gonna have to get 30 to beat us. Because that's, I will have to live with it because Jokic, he's an animal, bro. You gotta like try to double him for sure.
Yeah,
because once he get going,
the whole game.
Because once he get going, bro, the double might not even be that much of a factor.
No.
So it's like, man, you double him as soon as it start.
Because nobody stretches the floor like Jokic does. Like I don't remember the last time that there was a big man with that silky of a shot. Like I don't like maybe Hakeem. Like they were kind of talking about it on the broadcast, and Hakeem came up and kind of they were basically saying who in the history of the NBA does Jokic remind you of? Is there anyone you can even kind of compare to Jokic? And they were saying kind of Hakeem and Bill Walton, but Bill Walton couldn't shoot nearly as good as Jokic, and Hakeem had also had a great mid range, but he wasn't really hitting from three like Jokic does.
They wasn't hitting. They wasn't no sniper.
Yeah,
but the footwork and playing both ends, I definitely see that aspect for sure.
Definitely, yeah.
But a big shooting threes.
Like, can you even think?
I'm trying. I'll try like center.
Yeah, like center.
And the only person and his career got cut short is Yao Ming.
Oh yeah.
That's the only, because Yao had a torch, and then he messed up his foot. And
dude, that's a great.
Ain't no telling what his stats would have been like. So yeah, if I had to choose somebody, I would go with Yao Ming.
Yeah, that's a great, because what's crazy you bring that up is Stan Van Gundy, Jeff Van Gundy, who was on the broadcast, and he coached Yao Ming with the Rockets, and he talked about how also Jokic is so unselfish, bro. Like he legit is team first kind of guy, which is rare in the NBA these days. Like honestly, like it's just rare in sports to find that dude who actually is team before self, like, and actually like displays that consistently. And I feel like Jeff Van Gundy was saying that Yao Ming was one of those rare people that he coached that honestly cared about, like this is something I really wanted to bring to the podcast too, was he said this is a great allegory for life as well as is actually being happy with others' success. Like being supportive and happy when other people succeed. He's like, this is also great advice for life. It's like, this will help you not only here in the NBA but in life, because he said Yao Ming was so excited for others' success. And Jokic is kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Like he gets excited for other people's success. It's not me. It's us, and him. Like like we don't win this game without Kadavius Caldwell Pope's 21, and we don't win this game without Murray's 31 and stuff. And I feel like that's so important to have that in your star player. Like, and I'm kind of echoing the sentiments of Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy and Mike Breen were talking about this exact subject. But I thought, what a great point is, like, instead of hoping for people around you to to fall apart and bad things to happen and not
Right.
succeed. Like actually being excited for your friends, your family, for coworkers, whoever, to when good things happen, you genuinely are happy for them,
Right.
opposed to being jealous or
Right.
like being like, why did that happen to them and not to me, and this and stuff. Like, I feel like that is great advice, like for just your life, and like for
Definitely.
karma, for putting out that good karma and hoping that good karma comes right back to you.
Put out that good energy. Good energy comes back to you.
Yeah.
So I believe it. So hey.
Yeah. And another person, like, which makes a lot of sense, like for their successes, LeBron right on the other side. LeBron's never been, a selfish player when it comes to,
That is true.
like, you know, when it comes to his championships. I think LeBron's been really humbled when it comes to, like, I needed my supporting cast to win, and he kind of, like, LeBron's been the GM sometimes. He goes out and gets his
Yeah.
guys, like, and like,
Yeah.
and he rides with his players because he kind of can call the shots and be like, the only reason AD's in LA is because LeBron was like, get me AD over
Hey,
here.
hey, hey. Dylan Brooks to the Lakers?
Oh,
That would be crazy.
oh, that would be
crazy.
crazy. Hey, you know who Dylan Brooks reminds me of, in the way that he was kind of talking, and his game didn't back it up much like this player, but Lance Stevenson.
Oh yeah.
And did not LeBron
Lance.
play with Lance for a little bit, and he
And
was open to it.
and he
Like,
got a ring with Rondo.
yeah, true,
I never
true.
thought I was that was a weird moment in sports for me, just seeing them two hugging. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
You guys hated each other.
Oh
So
yeah.
if they teamed up, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Dylan Brooks in the Lakers
Oh, me
uniform.
neither. Me neither. Because it's like, why not? If LeBron, especially for LeBron, is like, you know what? Let me get a defense. Like, if there's one thing Dylan Brooks is decent at, excuse me, is that he can defend, and that's about it. But but the on a LeBron squad, like, nothing wrong with having a defender, to be there, and he ain't gonna have to score when you got AD and LeBron and the other supporting cast of the Lakers. Like, a lot of them can get their own bucket. D'Lo and Hachimura looked really good last night. In fact, I think they
Yeah.
should have given him more looks because
Yeah.
he was
What he had
cooking.
17,
Mm-hmm.
19?
Like
He almost had a 20-piece nugget,
yeah,
man.
he did, and he honestly did not shoot that much. Like, he was very efficient. I was really impressed with how he played last night as well.
He runs the floor very well.
Yes, and he finishes around the basket really well.
He got a real soft touch, like a nice little finesse. Yeah, that was a good pickup for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Hopefully they look at the film and be like, hey, you should have got more touches that game.
I think they will. I honestly think they're gonna put him on the floor more, because he was getting to the basket and he was making plays. Like,
Yeah.
And I think the Lakers are gonna make really good adjustments. I think game 2, like, kind of scary for the Nuggets, like, because the last thing they want is the Lakers to take a game in Denver. They need to get out to a 2-0 lead against the Lakers.
Yeah.
They absolutely need to.
Don't let them snatch
Like,
one from y'all,
yeah.
man.
Because if they switch home court, it's gonna be tough on the Nuggets. Like, I tell you, like, this series is gonna be insane. Like,
Yeah.
and to jump over to tonight's game, which we have Heat Celtics.
Heat Jimmy versus JT. Oh my god. It's going down.
And JT dropped a 50 burger in the closeout game against the 76ers, bro. He went stupid.
I hope Jimmy, Kyle, none of y'all say nothing to that man. Leave him alone.
Not a word.
Just compete, dude. Please don't get him fired up, because he's on a whole nother planet right now. Like, he's not on Earth right now.
No, he's not. He is. I mean, after they were in an elimination game going into game 6, and he said it himself, and I quote, they said, Jason, like, why, like, basically, like, how have you been able to, like, really turn it on and be that guy for the Celtics? And he said, humbly, I'm one of the best players in the world. Like, and he ain't wrong. And then he comes out in game 7 and drops 50 points in that game. Like, and they absolutely blitzed the 76ers in that last game, dude. They destroyed them.
And what did I tell y'all about James Harden? What did I say? That logo's in the sky and he do not come through. Not all the time. And it proved my point right there.
Oh, Ed, your take was, if do yourself a favor and go and check out that clip from our podcast, because you know how many points that James Harden had in a game 7 for the 76ers, a chance to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know how many points he ended up with, Ed?
Less than 10.
9. He hit it on the button. 9 points. You can't have that. I'm sorry. That
Yeah.
is disappearing act in the most important game in your career. Like for the 76ers, like they need accountability over there, dude. Like Embiid after the game said, "Me and James can't do it all." Like they didn't even show up in game
Right.
7.
You can't
Like,
say that like you put the team in your bag and you only pull up 9 points.
dude, like they both pulled a disappearing act, and then they fired Doc Rivers.
That's crazy.
And so where are the 76ers going to go from here? I'm telling you, they're in trouble, dude. They're in a lot of trouble because
Mm-hmm.
they have been on the cusp of being to coming out of the East in the last like 4 or 5 years, and they just can't do it. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they don't have, they don't have the right leadership, because I really was disappointed in Joel Embiid. Like, we were singing this man's praises in our first episode,
Yeah.
and now this dude's calling out his team when if it's one thing if him and Harden drop 30 and they lose and the other role players don't show up, and then there's I apologize, I don't remember how much Embiid had, but he didn't even have 20. I think he had like 12 or 16 in that game, that final game, and that just can't happen.
Unacceptable, bro.
It's
You're too big and too skilled to be held under 20. And you supposed to be MVP,
yes, you're
What?
the league MVP.
Like, come on, man. You went outside.
That was very sad to watch, dude. It was over by the fourth quarter. It was like, I want to say they were up by 27 points going into the fourth
And
quarter.
then Tobias, I don't know what he's on. Like, I low key forgot he was on that team. Cause like the previous season, like you would hear his name and then it's like, I don't know, he just out there chilling.
Bro, he disappeared.
He just out there coast. He just doing for cardio. He's out there for cardio at this point. Somebody go find Tobias Harris.
He's on a milk carton. Somebody, where's Tobias at? I'm looking all over for him. Like,
jeez.
Honestly, Ed, who do you got in this series between the Heat and the Celtics?
Heat, Celtics. Ooh, this is so tough. I want to go with the Heat, cause my boy Jimmy Buckets. Like, hey, say what you want about him, but hey, when it's time to turn it on, he turns it on. Like in them big moments, as you can see, and that's why Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players. Like that's how you go. That's how you play when you a top tier player. That's how you play. Like, he gets after it. Like, you can just tell by his demeanor, how he approached the game, guarding people, like whoever's scoring. Like, it's times in the game, like say somebody going, say he not guarding Jason Tatum tonight, and Jason Tatum is just going crazy. He'll switch on Jason Tatum. Like, he will guard whoever going crazy, because I've seen him do it. So I love that. It's just like, that's that accountability.
Yes.
Like, hey, I'm the best player. Let me guard who's ever going off. Let me try to like put their fire out real quick. So I'm gonna go with the Heat. It's gonna be tough though, cause like what you say, Jeff? They some injuries. Victor's out.
Yes.
And Tyler Herro. So
yes,
realistically, it's Celtics, but I'm gonna go Heat though. I still think like Jimmy is just going, like, I don't even know, like do some crazy average like 40 or something, and just put the team on his back and carry him to the finals. That's what I think will happen, but we will see. What you got?
I love that. I couldn't agree more with you. Like, I think you hit the nail on the head when you're talking about Jimmy and how he will take accountability, and he will step up and say, hey Spoelstra, like we can't get a stop on Tatum. Put me on him, and play that two-way game, which is so rare today's NBA too, to have such a player that's willing to step up defensively and offensively for you.
Yeah.
My heart is with the Heat, but my head is going Celtics based on what Ed was bringing up with, I just don't think with Victor being out and with Hero being out, I just don't see the Heat having enough firepower to keep up with the Celtics, because the Celtics, with that 1-2 punch of freaking Brown and Tatum, Like, and then you get some buckets out of Smart, and Horford's always going to place. He's not going to get you 30. He might not even get you 20, but the dude plays such smart basketball.
Yeah.
And like, you want to talk about an unselfish player, like that is Al Horford. And the Celtics are just so consistently strong, and I just think that they're going to have a little more firepower than the Heat in this series. I'm gonna say this series goes to 6 games, and the Celtics close it out and go to the finals. Like, and and I although I'm gonna be rooting for Jimmy Butler, and I hope he averages 40, because if he does average 40, they're gonna be in those games and they're gonna have a chance to win this series.
Yeah.
He's gonna at least have to average 30, like, to keep
Yeah.
because
Realistically.
that's the problem with the Heat. The Heat just don't have enough players to get their own bucket, because we're talking about Jimmy, yes. But then outside of that, Bam, no, he kind of needs to be facilitated.
Yeah.
And then same thing with Kyle Lowry. Like, he's very streaky,
Super streaky.
like super streaky, and he always has been in his career. Sometimes Kyle can go out and drop 30, but then sometimes, like, you're not even getting 15 out of Kyle. Like, it really depends.
Gotta pray for 10.
Yeah, exactly. And so, the Celtics are so versatile on defense too. So they're probably gonna keep Marcus Smart on Jimmy Butler, would be my guess. But then you could easily have Tatum or Brown on Kyle, and that's just height. Like, that's gonna be tough for Kyle. That's a tough matchup, because the Celtics are a little bit bigger than the Heat overall. And then you have all the role players like Strus and
Strus has a burner, bro.
Yeah.
That dude can shoot.
Yes, he can. He can.
They gonna need him.
Yes, and they're gonna need him to hit big time bucket, and Duncan Robinson too.
Yeah.
Like, see, the Heat have good shooters, but they need to be facilitated. Like, you're not gonna see Duncan Robinson creating his own shot. You're gonna be seeing them kicking it out to him, and he better hit down his open looks. They got Strus and are gonna, honestly, the X factors for the series for the Heat might be Strus and Robinson, because they're gonna need them to score like 15 a night, just hitting threes off of open looks that they're getting from Jimmy hitting, slashing to the basket, or Bam playing that inside outside game where he gets it inside the post and then kicks out to them. Like, those are going to be huge players for the Heat. Like, I think that's what it's really going to come down to. And for the Celtics, the X factors are going to have to be Brown and Tatum. Like, they just need to be them guys. Like, as long as them two are being them guys, that 1-2 punch is just so nasty that you don't need the rest of the team to do that much. You just need them to support those two. Like, and they're going to give you open looks.
Yeah.
So if Smart is hitting down shots and Tatum and Brown are being them dudes, it's going to be really hard on the Heat. But the X factor of the whole series is Jimmy Butler. And he at any time can change the whole thing. He could change the whole narrative of the game.
Yeah.
And, like, on either side of the court. So I look forward to that game tonight. I look forward to watching it. This once again has been amazing playoffs, and I think we have, how crazy the 4 teams from the bubble are back. That's another thing.
And y'all said it was a fluke.
You did.
You gotta eat them words now.
Yep.
You gotta eat them words, because the stadiums is packed now. People are yelling and cheering and trash talking. They made it back, so it must not have been that much of a difference.
That's so true. Like, it can't be a fluke if we're talking about the same 4 squads that are back. And honestly, if you look at the rosters of all of these teams, like, outside of Jimmy Butler, they're all the same. The Celtics have changed so very little in that time. So have the Nuggets, and so have the Lakers. Yeah, there's some role players, but the core of those teams that were in that bubble are absolutely still there.
Yeah.
You still have Murray, Jokic, Michael Porter over in Denver. You still have AD, LeBron, like, in LA. And obviously, like, they've made a lot of moves around AD and LeBron since then.
Picked up some nice role
But
players.
still, like, that core is there. And then you look at the Celtics, they're damn near the same exact team.
Really the same. Have they even really added anybody? How new is Al Horford?
No, he's been there. Yeah.
Oh, see,
Like,
that's the same. They didn't even pick nobody up. I don't think.
like, outside of their bench, like, they've picked up a few players, but their starting 5 is the exact
that's
same.
solid.
Like,
then
and the Heat, like, they probably the most changed team since then, because they didn't have. No, they had Jimmy in the bubble, didn't they?
Yeah, they had Jimmy. He almost won it for
No,
him.
you're right. You're so right.
That's
Like,
what he gave that series his all, dude.
no, I'm tripping. Like that. This the like you cannot say these are drastically different teams than they were when they were in the bubble. They're so very similar to what they were in the bubble. And
Hmm.
obviously, like every year, you're gonna add or lose that couple players. But when you look at the starting five and the core, it's very much still the same for all of these teams that were in the bubble.
Good point.
So like Ed said, a lot of you eating your words right now when it comes to them bubble teams because
Hmm.
like these teams can hoop regardless of there's a million in the crowd or if there's nobody in the crowd. Obviously, like these players are them. Like and honestly, like so evenly matched on both East and West.
Yeah,
You know,
it's good.
gonna be just amazing games on the way to the finals, and I can't wait to watch.
Same.
Um, Speaking of the NBA, though, we have to segue over to Ja Morant. Like,
Oh man.
we have to speak on that because Ed, this dude is fumbling his future. Like,
I don't know what. I honestly don't. He just got suspended. Like, I don't know what he's doing.
what is he doing? Like,
Don't know. I'm
bro,
confused.
I am at a loss. Like, when you're a superstar of your franchise and you are making millions of dollars,
Hmm.
like there is no excuse for flashing guns like on social media when you have impressionable followers, you have kids, you have people that are looking up to you. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, it's just unacceptable. Like,
Very, very unacceptable. And it's like, yeah, people saying like he young, but like, bro, what, 22, 23? Like, you're grown, bro.
yeah,
You're not 15. You know. So, and at first, like, I'm like, he feeling himself. He did something stupid. He had the gun in the club. But then, bro, you get caught again. And it's like, now it's like, bro, now it's on you now. Like, that's your fault. Like, two times in a row, bro. It's like I don't even know if you really care at this point. Cause me,
yeah,
though, if I get curved first time, bro, I'm not even carrying no more.
exactly.
And so I don't know. Maybe he just feel like he untouchable, or
Mm.
whatever. But it's like, bro, the NBA could get you up out of there.
Oh yeah,
So
dude, and they're talking about a full year suspension next year. That's the rumor going around. Like, dude, honestly,
I don't get it.
when here's the thing, he is hanging out with his friends, having a good time. They're rolling around in the whip. Why even have the gun? Like, why are you even, bro? You are like you are the face of the Memphis Grizzlies. Like, and it ain't a surprise. Like, you've been that for the last few years, bro. Like, and you you are setting such a bad example for your team, for your fans, for your young people that are looking up to you. Like, just what? Why? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it really doesn't. Like there is no reason at all that this man should be rolling around with a gun in his hand. Like when he's hanging out with his buddies.
I
Like,
want to
I
know.
just
I want to know who he beefing with, because that's crazy.
yeah. Like,
Like,
it's crazy, bro.
bro, get security.
Yeah, dude.
If
Like,
honestly, if you into it with some people, you feel like you need to get a gun, bro. Get top tier security. You got the money for it. You know, invest in yourself.
yes.
You know, that's this is dumb, bro. I just don't get it. Like, cause when LeBron and KD and them leave, like he's up there. It's gonna be like him, Tatum, you know. So it's like
Booker, like,
those are like the next gen of superstars. That's gonna be the face of the league, and it's like you're just destroying that, bro, by doing stuff that's easily controllable.
yeah, oh, you couldn't have said it better.
Like, that's not something that's out of your control,
Not
bro.
at
You
all.
didn't have to carry the gun. Shouldn't even have a gun on you.
Yes.
But like I said, I don't know what's going on in his life. But if you do feel like that, bro, just be security, dog. Like, that's what it's for. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of celebrities think it's weak to have security. So I don't know why, cause me, I'm having security. Yeah.
Yes, especially if you're actually are if you're in a position where you're having to carry because you're afraid of maybe a situation you found yourself in, or some like Ed said, we don't know what's going on with John Morant and what's going on with his daily life. But if you're that worried, then one, you have enough money to take yourself out of that situation. I feel
Yeah.
like
Facts.
like
Facts.
if you're in an area where there's a problem, take yourself out of that area. Like you can literally go buy yourself a home wherever you want to live, even if it's just for the off season, and take yourself out of that area and put yourself in a better position. Like on, and that's where I'm confused too, is because this man literally has no need for money. He has no issue for money. He's making an absolute bag in Memphis. Like so just in my opinion, if I'm that worried, I'm leaving. Like I'm leaving. I'm putting myself in a safe place.
Facts.
um and I'm working on myself, because obviously, like, there's issues there, like, and obviously John Morant has, like, he can't even help himself at this point, so someone needs to step in his camp or in his,
I don't know.
like,
His dad need to. I don't know.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you gotta talk to him like, hey, you are wilding. But I don't know. Maybe his dad did. Maybe he not listen to him. But
true,
you know what else, bro? It's like, you're a father, bro.
yeah,
Like, like you can't be risking like your freedom, like especially if your guns is not registered. Like Gilbert Arenas,
great example.
look what happened to him.
His whole career, basically, like, Gilbert was never the same after that happened, and he carried that stigma for the rest of his the rest of his career and the rest of his life. Really, is like he's always going to be remembered for that. And this is the path that John Morant finds himself on. Like, he's going to have a hard time breaking away from this stigma
Uh
if he
huh.
continues doing these, like, bro, here's another thing too. Like, if you have to carry the gun, then put it away when the phone
Conceal,
is out. Like,
conceal
yeah.
to carry.
And I'm not even saying, you don't get me wrong, and don't get my words twisted and saying, oh, he should, if, as long as he's hiding it, he's fine. But if he has to, for whatever reason in his life, whatever he's got going on, you gotta be aware when your friends or a phone is out.
Yeah.
Like, we are living in the age where, like, everyone is videotaping and recording whenever they want at
Yeah.
any moment. It's right at our fingertips. Like, and and this man is not even, it's like he doesn't care, because this dude has
That's what
clearly
I
got
think
his phone
now.
out. He is clearly recording them. There's no one that's for, like, holding it on the side, and, like, he doesn't realize, like, he is literally dancing with the phone out, with the gun in his hand, bro. And you can't tell, like, I don't understand that in the slightest, man. Like, it's almost like he wants to get caught. It's almost like he knows what he's doing and he wants to get caught for whatever reason.
I
like
don't know.
like this dude might need to go see somebody. Like, he might need to go talk to a therapist or get some mental health help, because,
I don't
bro,
know what's going on with him.
it's kind of sad, to be honest with you, because this dude is such a talent, bro. Like, he is such a talent, and he is going to blow it all. Like, honestly, Adam Silver was even saying he's kind of shocked. Like, I was listening to him talk at the draft, at the lottery, when they were doing the lottery for the teams, and he was shocked that this is happening again, and in less than a few months.
Yeah,
He just got an 8-game suspension for this exact same thing, Ed.
I know. That's why I think he don't care, and I feel like he think he untouchable. But
Yes.
hey, Gilbert was on top of the world in his situation,
Superstar.
and you saw what happened to him. We talking about Gilbert, like dropped 60 on Kobe Gilbert.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's like anybody could get touched, man.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Like, he is on the verge of just losing it all, and we had to bring this up because it's a scary subject too, because the, you never know what, like, weapons are, scary things, bro. So, like, this dude's just flashing his gun around, and he could hurt somebody. He could hurt himself. He could hurt multiple people. Like,
yeah,
and it just feels like at this point, like, he's got one strike left at most. So if he doesn't change now, he could lose his whole NBA career, honestly. Like, and he might lose his whole next season in his prime. This dude is in the middle of his
a
prime.
full year suspension would be
Yeah,
crazy. He's gonna be sick too. It's like, bro, you can't even like hoop.
yeah,
Like, that your life purpose, like your career, like how you get your bag. You can't
yeah,
even do that for a full year.
yeah.
So
And who knows what that'll do? Like I don't think I think that he's too big of a star for the NBA to lose that. I
yeah,
think that they definitely won't hit him with a full year, but you best believe he's looking at probably 20, 30 games like
that's
of
crazy.
suspension, like, because it's one thing to get caught doing something wrong, but it's another to get caught back to back doing the same thing, because then if you're the commissioner, your hands are tied, because you can't say, well, he made a mistake and then he made a different kind of mistake. It's like, no, he literally did the exact same thing again after we just got him in trouble for the, like, what's crazy? It's getting to the point where, like, Michael Wilbon, who's a very respected, reporter and the media for the NBA and in sports in general, said he literally banned John Morant's shoes and his apparel from his house. He's told his son, like, you
Oh
can't
damn.
buy you though, if you're under my roof, you're not buying this young man's like shoes. It's gotten to that point where he's not even he's gonna be eliminated from households. Like, fans and parents that are seeing this stuff are going to say, we don't want this in our homes. Like, we don't want this to be influenced onto our children, onto our young men, onto our young women. Like, and I kind of applaud that, because he's acting foolish. Like, whatever is going on with him, he's acting foolish, and he needs to really check himself, like, or someone needs to check this man, and he needs to get help, like, because obviously he can't help himself at this point. And I think that he needs a tough some tough love, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely. So
but yeah, so had to touch on that subject because it's blowing up right now. It's unfortunate, and I honestly just hope that John Morant just gets it straight, because this dude's way too talented,
yeah,
and he like Ed said, like, he's the future of the NBA. He's gonna be the future of of the sport, and I really want to see, and I enjoy watching him play, and he's magnificent. So I don't want to see him lose everything. Like, I really hope that he gets everything straight and gets things back on track.
same.
Like, and luckily for him, this is in the off season, so he can put in that work and get everything right before the next season, and then serve his suspension, whatever that may be, and come back with a fresh mindset. And that's what I hope for him. I hope for the, because he is a young man too. Like, you're right, though, he is grown. I'm not making excuses for him, but I don't want to see him throw away his life over just some foolish stuff like this.
Yeah,
Um, and it would just be too unfortunate. So, and we would love to hear what you guys think too. So drop a comment on
yeah.
what you think, yeah,
Drop a
about John
comment.
Morant, and how long you guys think he should be suspended, or what punishment you think he deserves from the league. I'd love to see what you guys think. So, it's kind of moving on from the NBA. We wanted to touch on the DC again, because Ed and I we did talk about the DC and kind of like the landscape of how that's looking going into
Yeah,
the future, with James Gunn kind of taking the helm, and the very first movie that's going to be dropping under his kind of, like, he wasn't there when it was being made, but he is going to be there when it's being dropped, is the Flash.
the Flash. I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, and they showed the preview for it, and it looks pretty good. So we'll see. We'll see. High hopes for DC. So we'll see.
Yep, really looking forward to it. It drops in less than a month, and I can't wait to check it out. Ed and I, we're gonna see it. We're gonna come back with our review,
Yeah.
and we're gonna let you guys know what we think. Ed's already seen Guardians 3. I'm lacking a little bit.
Amazing.
I'm gonna make him hold off on his number out of 10, because I'm gonna see it this weekend, and then come back with you guys next week, and we're gonna give you our number out of 10, give you our review of the movie. and let you guys know what we think about that. And then we will come back when the Flash comes out and definitely let you guys know what we think about that as well. Um, but unfortunately, that is enough time for us this week. We have to bounce.
Gotta wrap it up.
But thank you guys again for joining us for another episode of Something to Say
Yes,
with
sir.
me and my boy Ed here. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. And we look forward to having our boy Rudy back with us as well. But until next time, you guys take care, and we will check you later.
We out of here.
Bye, y'all.